So this is the Galaxy S26 Ultra and it launched with One UI 8.5. Today I have the official version of One UI 8.5 on the S25 Ultra. Let's go ahead and begin the speed test with a boot up in 3, 2, go and see which one can get there first. Finally, the official has been rolled out. They're already on One UI 9 beta. That's rolling out to the S26 series. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me know down below. But I do want to see if the performance, now that we have the One UI 8.5, is stacking up kind of similar. But you'll see that the Galaxy S26 Ultra boots up a few seconds faster than that of my S25 Ultra. So good sign for this phone. But what's nice is that you finally have basically all the same features, so you don't really have to go get an S26 Ultra now if you have an S25 Ultra. Okay, and what we're going to do here is navigate the user interface here on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and you'll see that it runs along pretty fine. We are just now booting up, so if it's showing any chop, it's just because everything's loading up. But definitely the One UI 8.5 has nicer, more sticker looking like icons, different quick panel area. For some, it does look a little bit more consistent across the user interface than last year's version. So definitely am liking One UI 8.5. But one of the things I like the most about it is quick animations and just a fast overall user experience. So it's been pretty awesome, to say the least, on the S26 Ultra. But now that we have that official version here on the S25 Ultra, it now feels like I'm using the same exact phone without the privacy display. You'll see the same quick panel area, and you'll see very fast and snappy performance as well. And I've been testing it out, and I'm seeing just about the same performance, maybe a slightly quicker feel on the S26 Ultra, but not anything substantial. So I do recommend this update. The battery might not be great a couple of days as the phone gets indexed and everything, so just wait on that for a minute and it should be good to go. But yeah, so far just general user interface performance looks kind of the same here. Let's go ahead and do some app tests now. Alright guys, so everything is closed out for both phones. Let's go ahead and head into calendar. You can see just about the same. Swiping out also looks about the same. Let's go into clock. Exactly the same. And now that we have the exact same interface, you literally are using basically an S26 Ultra if you have an S25 Ultra without privacy display. Basically, you'll see calculator exactly the same, Play Store faster on the right, and you can catch up on the Android show, which showcased Android 17, as well as some Google Books and some new AI features that are coming there, and it's going to basically take over the phone mostly. So we'll be covering Android 17 as it comes along as well. Let's do ChatGPT. You'll see about the same, so not bad. Let's go into Gemini, and that was quicker, I think, on S25 Ultra. It did give us a pop-up. We'll go to Copilot, and not too much difference. Let's go into Groupon. So you'll see right here that Groupon does load first there on the S25 Ultra. One of the things I like about the S25 Ultra is the smaller punch hole display. I also like that this display tends to look, to me, a little bit better when it comes to viewing angles and stuff of that sort. So it's really a good phone to hold on to if you have the S25 Ultra for another several years. If you just got an S26 Ultra, well, you're not really missing much if you skipped the S25 Ultra, because now you have what that had and a few more features. Let's go ahead and swipe through here. We'll click on this S26 Ultra, and you'll see pretty much the same. Also, Android 17 is supposed to improve social media uploads across Android devices, so that's going to be a big deal. As we scroll through here, everything performing pretty much on par. Let's head up out of there. We'll go into Google News. And S25 Ultra on that one. So honestly, if you had a faster internet connection, the animations are so close and the launch speeds are so close that you might actually launch some apps first on the S25 Ultra. But I do think that it's going to come ahead here in games on the S26 Ultra. But the difference is so minor that you literally, if you upgraded this, you did it because you just want to be on the latest phone. Like, honestly. Also the privacy display. Let's go over here to Dead Trigger 2. And maybe you wanted the newer chipset, the lighter aluminum build. But honestly, these phones, this S26 Ultra is playing it pretty safe. I really want to see Samsung rock the boat on the next Ultra. They got to get back to their roots when every year they were making a phone that was just hitting. It was just cooking every year. Let me know if you agree that Samsung needs to bring back the cook. You know what I mean? Like, not Tim Cook, but they got to cook. They got to start cooking again. You know, Chef Curry with the shot, boy. Like, they got to start doing that in terms of the phone game. So let's go ahead and we'll go this way. We'll go over here. We'll swipe out of there. We'll go in here. We'll go into Free Fire and we'll see what happens here. And looking like now we're getting a slight bump. Man, this is so close. I kind of like looking to see when they're like really close like this, who slightly wins. I know it's something minor, but it's like I got to look for that detail. It could be just a hair different, but it's close. Like, it's like they're racing, but they're like neck and neck. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. And yeah, it's performing great here on One UI 8.5. That's one thing I like about Samsung. They do, sometimes they drag their feet a little bit to get these updates out. They're much better than they used to be, but at the same time, when they do hit the phone, they're pretty stable and they run really well. So they don't usually ship out some junk update. That doesn't happen that often with Samsung. So I do like that, even though it takes a while. Let's go into Asphalt and we'll see what happens here on Asphalt Legends. So concurrent accounts, which means that the S25 Ultra has won this one. And both of them are kind of like stuck here. This one's not going to load because it's probably not going to load because this one won. Yeah, so it's not going to let me because of the account crossover. But usually I just pick the one that got there first. So there we go. You'll see. Let's go into Geekbench 6 and we'll swipe up out of there. You also see right there that the S26 Ultra has a very small clock speed lead. 3.63 gigahertz. This was 3.53. In the real world, that means 0 to anybody, really. Also, the second cluster, 4.74, 4.47 means zilch to the majority of users. Let's go into speed test net and identical. And we'll go into InShot, also identical. So very, very good performance on the S25 Ultra with One UI 8.5, performing exactly like an S26 Ultra. Love this for those of you who still have this phone. All right, so here we're at the RAM management section. I'm gonna go backwards now. I'm gonna launch them at the same time. Typically I do one at a time, but I wanna see them in action at the same time so we can get a clear visual which one is holding it better. And I don't think either should give us any reloads. We do have 12 gigs of RAM on both phones. You can get 16 gigs if you go with really high storage tier, but I'm sticking with the 12 gig of RAM versions here. We'll go into RTS and we'll go into Dead Trigger 2. We'll go over here to Subway City, and this kind of did the same thing on both. Google News. We'll go into X and we'll go into Instagram and we'll go into Groupon. We'll go into Copilot. And basically both did the same thing. Gemini, a little bit better there on the left. ChatGPT, a little better on the left. And Weather, Play Store, slightly better on the left. So yeah, the S26 Ultra winning here by a little bit, but it's very small. And most people never will run into any issues, even on day-to-day split screening, anything of that sort, flipping things around, it doesn't matter. You can even have multiple split screens open at the same exact time. So let's go ahead and do that as well. You can flip that around. You can also swipe over here and see that both of them are holding things just fine. So really, really good performance for both. I don't think either person is going to care too much, and they both can run Samsung DeX to a monitor, and you have plenty of RAM to put multiple apps and get like a computer-like experience. And so our final Geekbench scores are in for One UI 8.5, and we have a crushing win on the multi-core of over 1,500 points, but not too much on the single core. So this is that same old, I sound like a broken record player. If you really push the phone in multi-core score, S26 Ultra on the latest version is going to do better. But that's not saying too much, because I never had a single issue with the S25 Ultra. I called it one of the best phones of last year, and it remains that way. Let's go ahead and take a look now at wildlife. I am noticing a small, the S26 Ultra kind of just in the real world launches things a little bit snappier. So if you're in that zippy fast, hopping between apps type of thing, you do feel it a little bit, but it's pretty minimal, honestly. But I think coming from an S23 or an S24 Ultra, you will definitely like this S26 Ultra upgrade if you're okay with the new display. If you're okay with that, I think you're going to be pretty darn happy. Let's see what they get on the frame rates. Bigger vapor chamber in S26 Ultra. This should change the results. We'll be back when they're done. And so we have a small jump here on the Wildlife Extreme. Just like 300 points, just a couple frame rates a second better on the left. Look at 95%, 94%. Whoa, they just made the same phone nearly twice here. Look at that punch hole though. It's much larger than the S25 Ultra, and the aluminum, more rock. I think I prefer the S25 Ultra, except I do like the S26 Ultra's camera look a little bit better. This looks a little bit better than this, but that's just personal subjective take. These were darn close here in their Wildlife Extreme. So I do think that when pushing them in a game, you're going to find virtually zero difference. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Wi-Fi speed test now and see how they do. Okay, so here we are at the Wi-Fi speed test. We'll start on the left with the Galaxy S26 Ultra and see what we get. So we're pulling in a little bit lower tonight than my previous tests, but that's okay. We're just trying to see which one does this a little bit quicker. And 333 down. And I'm going to guess around 40 or so on the upload. We'll go ahead. Once this is done with the download, we'll start the download over here because this one's already working on upload. And same server. Let's see what happens. 300, a little bit lower, coming up close. I feel like an auctioneer like over here, but we're getting close here to, we're going to beat the S26 Ultra here. So not bad whatsoever. S25 Ultra should give you kind of the same type of 5G, similar connectivity as well. So this phone upgrade, if you do it, you're not doing it whatsoever for any type of performance. Even if that newer chip kind of makes you feel like you are, in reality, the S25 Ultra users using the same phone with just a couple of less features. Really, they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a camera launch. I do have that S Pen right there. Let me back it out just a little bit right there. And we'll try to launch the cameras on both of these. These are big phones. Let's go ahead and click the camera in 3, 2, go. And I think that was the left. We'll go ahead and do it again. I wasn't really looking at the right though. Let's go ahead and do that again. Yeah, slightly to the left. Shutter speed, kind of the same. When zooming though, switching between these lenses, they are not that quick to switch between these lenses. And also not always the smoothest. There's like a little bit of a delay when we're switching between them. Also, the shutter speed, not super quick on these phones. But at the same time, if you go ahead and click that, you'll get some processing after the fact. And neither of them are going to really give you an enhancement in terms of camera speed. They both launch at about the same time. So should you do the update to One UI 8.5 on the S25 Ultra right now? I'd say for sure. It definitely runs exactly like an S26 Ultra. So if you were kind of like jealous of this update here, you were like, man, I got the S25 Ultra, but I really like One UI 8.5 on the S26 Ultra. Go get it. It's ready to go. It's running really well. And I'm very proud to say that the S25 Ultra is a phone I can gladly still recommend in 2026. S26 Ultra is always going to be the default choice as the newest phone. But it wasn't the type of phone that really felt like a major change. I really want to see them rock the boat on the next one. Let me know if you agree down below in the comment section. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the speed test. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.